Bank Rising Star Awards took place on Thursday, and the winners were announced after hundreds of entries were submitted. Now, over the years, the awards have identified, recognized and celebrated young, talented individuals across all industries in South Africa. The Rising Star program aims at also establishing young professionals and entrepreneurs through development and mentoring that will enable them to become opinion leaders and role models. Joining us now are two of the winners, Boitumelo Mmakau, who is the media and advertising winner, and Sizwe Mdladla, who is the tourism, hospitality and leisure winner. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on Morning Live this morning.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Boitumelo, let's start with you. Now, you won the Media and Advertising Award. Take us through what this meant for you as a young entrepreneur.
For me, it confirmed the path that I was taking, because even coming into my role as a producer, I had certain things I wasn't sure about. But winning this award has confirmed that this is the right path and I need to continue with it. And if more than anything, it's uplifted me to keep going. So
Sizwe, let's talk about your award. You won in the tourism category, and you know, we heard when the president first gave his State of the Nation address, he mentioned tourism as a key sector. What's your take in terms of that as a young entrepreneur?
Well, I think for me, it's just firstly very proud of that achievement, knowing the quality of entrants this year. In fact, the judges did remark that this year has been the toughest in terms of the quality. So I think to come out on top, number one, that's a heck of an achievement. And I think, like Boitumelo said, it kind of just confirms that you're on the right path. So for me, it was a bit of a well done and keep going. So I think I'm headed on the right path, and it means a lot. Also because I work at South African Airways, and it's always nice to get some good publicity for the company.
Now, just to pick up on what Sizwe has just said about, you know, the quality of the entrants.
Yes.
Because I think that always gives any form of competition credibility. If all the entrants are essentially good, it means, you know, you're amongst the best.
Yeah.
What qualities do you think set you apart as an entrepreneur?
Being myself. I walked in there very nervous when I had to meet the judges prior to them announcing the winners and through the judging process, and I just remembered to be myself, and I think that's what stood out and made me separate from the rest, that I didn't walk in there pretending to be someone else just to score points. And I think anyone should take note of that. Being yourself is what will get you far.
Sizwe, take us through the leadership program that you'll be taking part in.
So what we have been advised by the Rising Star guys is that we'll form part of an alumni, which will then, you know, give you access to a network of previous winners as well as corporates and that sort of thing. So it kind of does open a lot of doors for you. It kind of sets you apart as well. It's a nice little badge to have. So it's essentially going to allow us to, you know, have the opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have had. I think the exposure will also do all of us a lot of good. So I think that's certainly something that I'm looking forward to, that extra exposure and certain doors opening up going forward.
Now, Boitumelo, you won in the media category.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the time in South Africa especially, the role of media has been quite contentious.
Yes.
What role did that play in terms of you know, getting as far as you have?
For me, it was a pleasure and honor putting YFM on the map, because we are a young and youthful radio station, often undermined when you compare us to your talk radio. So to be put on the platform and be recognized as, you know, a station that's doing well, and me representing them means that we are on the right path ourselves. But also, more than anything, it puts out there that the creatives are recognized, and the creatives do mean something to the industry, which is media and advertising.
Just finally, what advice would you give to young people who are, you know, thinking of various career paths and maybe are considering entrepreneurship, but are afraid, you know, to take risks in that instance?
I would have one piece of advice, Tabile, is that we all need a mentor. If you don't want to call it a mentor, call it a coach, because people who have been there and who have done that, they're the ones who can tell you exactly what to do. A lot of the times it's very overwhelming, especially for young individuals like ourselves. So what I would advise anybody is get yourself a mentor, get yourself a coach, get advice, there's nothing that beats experience.
And for you, Boitumelo, that one piece of advice?
I'm going to take off from the experience part. If ever you have the opportunity to get experience, even if you're not getting paid for it, start volunteering at a radio station, start volunteering at a magazine, start somewhere in terms of gaining experience, because it's all about how much experience you have, which helps you in the long run to be a better person in the media industry or whichever industry that you choose to work in.
Well, to both of you, congratulations for the awards, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, W.
That was Boitumelo Mmakau and Sizwe Mdladla talking to us about the awards they won at the Rising Star Awards, which took place earlier in the week. And they were telling us what it meant for them as entrepreneurs to receive these awards. We're back with more after this.
The bank is going down.
I'm angry. 2017 financial statements of VBS did not present an accurate